Namaste. I am Vijay Sripati, Secretary, Royal Park Residency Welfare Association. On my left, Mr. Raviraj Ballad. He is the President of Royal Park Residency Welfare Association. On my right, Sri Srinivas Kumble. He is the Treasurer of Royal Park Residency Welfare Association. It is in Bangalore, Anjanapura. And today we are going to talk about Miyawaki project. We have already done 4 projects and gained some experience on this. We would like to share for the benefit of viewers. And part 1 will be dealt by my colleague Srinivas Kumble. Part 2 by Raviraj Ballad. Part 3, I myself would like to take it up. Please watch full video to know about Miyawaki project, and the information I am very sure will be useful to you all to develop further Miyawaki projects. Thank you. Please go ahead and watch the full video.
Namaste everyone. I am Srinivas Kumble. Modern way of afforestation is called modern Miyawaki forests. It was invented by one botanist, Professor Akira Miyawaki. He is a Japanese botanist. It is a way of growing a dense, multi-layered, biodiverse of native species, consisting of native species in a small area. The concept is growing the dense forest in the urban area or in any area. So here, the advantages of growing a thick forest, particularly in the urban area, is urban area produces lot of carbon dioxide. So we need forest to absorb all those carbon dioxide and give out fresh oxygen. That is what the purpose of Miyawaki forest. Here we can grow a large biodiverse plants in a small area. It absorbs lot of rainwater, enriching the soil, and diverse plants. At the same time, since there are lot of flower-bearing and fruit-bearing plants, there are myriads of birds visiting, and even in the forest area we have here, we have seen peacocks also coming and developing in that area. So overall, the cities, particularly cities, need this modern way of developing a forest area. It is going to help not only us, it is going to help the future generation too. My colleague will continue.
Namaskara. I am Raviraj Ballad, President of Royal Park Residency Association. Part 2 of the Miyawaki project, I am going to talk about landscaping, irrigation and fencing of the Miyawaki 4 project. What you can see behind me is Miyawaki 4. We have just finished few months before. So before, this particular land was completely, you could see the weeds and other plants grown, and lot of debris were here. All construction materials were lying down in this particular place. So first part of this one is to get the permission to know this land belongs to whom. So we have come to know that this land belongs to BBMP. And then we went to BBMP particular office and took the permission from them to grow this as a Miyawaki forest. It took us quite a lot of time to get all the permissions. Once we received a letter from them to go ahead with the project, we started preparation of the land, for which we use the machineries like JCB and cleared all the debris from this particular place, and also all the weeds which were grown here, which was unwanted from this one. We removed it with the machineries, and then we made to make this Miyawaki forest, you can either make small holes. Either you can make small holes, which is 3 feet from each other and 1.5 feet below, before in the underground. So that way you can make it. But the easier way is to make a trench, 1.5 feet depth. A trench will be made, which is 3 feet from each other. Each trench is 3 feet from the other one. The entire trench is made in a big line, which you can see here now. So after making 1.5 feet, we put dry leaves and twigs into that one and allow it to remain inside for about month or two, so that all this dry leaves and everything will kind of mix with the soil below the trench. So once it is done, we will take the local varieties of the plants. So we decide on that part of it. The plants which grows locally, about 30 to 40 varieties of plants, and few varieties of fruit bearing plants, few varieties of flowering plants, and few varieties of medicinal plants. All these things have been listed, and we procured it from the nursery. So once everything is procured, we have planted each plant 3 feet from each other inside this trench, and approximately about 1 kilo of manure is put into these plants, each plant. And once it is planted completely into this particular place, these plants will go straight up, because there is as it is planted close to each other, there is a competition between the plants, and the leaf side will look into the sun and it will grow up, and the roots will go down in search of the water. So the plants will go up, roots will go deep down, and this will make the plants to go very fast than the traditional forests, where it takes about 5 to 6 years. Here in this Miyawaki forest, within 3 years, we have a thick green forest being formed. Now this particular plants which you are seeing here is only about 3 months. If you see this after 3 years, it will be a thick forest. This is the second part of it. And the third part is to maintain it for the next 2 to 3 years, which is very, very important. As the plants are very small, you can always see weeds growing up nearby, and then you can see the bullies, creepers. The creepers will grow. All these things has to be removed. But as you are doing the planting, what is required is a fencing, because we have to protect this entire area from animals like cows and sheep and other things which will enter inside and simply eat off the plants. To do that one, there are 2 ways of doing it. One way is to grow like Adsoge and bougainvillea and this one, dragon plants. These plants cannot be eaten by cows and sheep. So we can grow these plants, but only disadvantage is this has to be done about 6 to 8 months before you start the project. Then the plants will grow up, and then you do this one. Easier way but slightly expensive is to make a fence. You can see the fence here, exactly like this. You can have a fence being made, and on the side of the fence we have planted Adsoge small plants. You can see the Adsoge plants here. This is like a double fencing. One is the fence and another is Adsoge. It will not only make the place green and also completely protect the plants inside from all sides of animals. This is the second part of it. Third part is to maintain this one. After planting, we cannot see, once you plant it, that particular day, you have to water it fully, which is very, very important. And invariably, we are doing it during the rainy season. So now, Because of the rainy season, there is no need to plant there is no need to water the plants. But during summer, every 3 to 4 days or 4 to 5 days, you need to water the plants. So for which you have to make arrangements for the source of water. Either if you must have a bore well, or you must have small tanks through which the water to be done, to be given to the plants. And the third thing is mulching. You can see the plants here, all around below the plants, you can see dry leaves and other things you have been put into that one. This mulching, once it is done, it will prevent weeds from growing around the plants. So, which is also very important, and it will also hold the water. Once the water goes into that one, this covering will protect it from the sun. The water will not evaporate up. It will protect the water and also protect it from weeds. These are the three things we have to look into it before we start a Miyawaki forest. Thank you, sir. And the third part of how to do it, how to procure, how to make this forest will be explained by Mr. Sripati, my colleague.
Namaste. I am B.J. Sripati, Secretary, Royal Park Residency Welfare Association. This is the third part of Miyawaki project. Earlier project part 1 was dealt by Mr. Srinivas Kumble, that is concept and the purpose. The second part was on land preparation, planting, fencing and watering. These things are in detail dealt by my friend Raviraj Ballad. Now I am standing before you for the third and very important aspect of this Miyawaki project, that is funding. Funding is just like the foundation for any building. Financial strength is required for the purpose of making this project successful. Normally, it is ideal if local bodies, if they come forward and appreciate this project and earmark some funding to complete this project. But it is rarely happening because it is not the priority of local bodies. Whereas, on the other hand, this is really a priority for citizens, societies around, and we have to somehow make it happening. The first source is the government agencies. If we are failed to get, then the next immediately is our local residents. We have to take them into confidence, explain the details of the project and involve them, and they should own up this project so that they will involve supporting financially and also extending their physical assistance. The next is, it may not be sufficient if local residents contribute. Look for CSR fund. Some companies will be interested in helping this type of project. Find out and get that finance. Go to NGO. Some NGOs are really extending their support. For example, in our case, we are lucky that one Happy World Foundation, they came forward to give us more than 1,000 plants, very grown up, 3 feet height plants. And they had their own nursery, and we were able to go inspect that and select our own requirement. As my friends have already told earlier, that we have around 42 varieties of local varieties of plants. So, this is very, very important, and all these things require really financial support. Once that is done, involve for day-to-day work like planting, watering the localites, so that they will show more and more interest in protecting, because that becomes their own project. That's how we can go about it. Very important aspect of this is we should have some leadership. And somebody has to come forward to take leadership. We are very lucky because we have an expert and he has done all these 4 Miyawakis so far. That is Mr. Chandrasekhar Kakal. He is having a very good expertise. He is ably assisted by another friend, Mr. Girish Elamani. Both of them started working from the scratch. Mr. Ballal explained how the place was. They were able to get it cleaned up using machineries, then mark it for planting properly, and they were able to procure even varieties of plants for visiting various nurseries. So the credit goes to that type of leadership, and everybody should have that type of leader in a society so that things will find its place. So thereafter, we were able to put all these things together and develop this type of Miyawaki project. This is required, as earlier speaker said, this is a quick urban afforestation. It gives a very good green cover, reduces pollution. All those things are already dealt in first part of this one. You can go through that. And my appeal to you all is, make this project happening everywhere around you. Whether you are in big cities or district level or taluk level, you certainly find some government land. Approach them, take their approval, start these projects. And as citizens at this juncture, probably there cannot be a better gift than creating a green cover around you. Next generation should remember that somebody like us, we have done this type of activity. It helps them and involve all the persons like school children. In fact, when we did Miyawaki Project 4, we invited the government school children to get involved. They enjoyed, they appreciated, school staff, they appreciated this type of project. That means it should get planted in the minds of youngsters so that it will be carried on in a very effective way. So this type of thing I request, I appeal each one of you to go like this. The one important aspect is the total project cost. For example, we have done Miyawaki 1, 2, 3 and 4. See, the 4th project has costed us around 3 lakhs on half an acre plant. Approximately we have collected our number of plants. It will be around 400 to 500 rupees per plant. And thereafter, it requires per year, per plant, 100 rupees maintenance. That means minimum 2 years you have to have maintenance. With this amount only, you can start Miyawaki project on half an acre land. Please calculate accordingly and keep sufficient funds in your hand before you start this project. We will be giving our reference number. We will give 5 reference numbers. The project leader, Mr. Chandrasekhar Kakal, Mr. Girish Elmali, myself, Mr. Raviraj Ballal, President, and Mr. Srinivas Kumble. All these phone numbers we will be giving in this video. Please contact for any consultation. We will be able to help you out. And in fact, we are also thinking in the long run, we would like to create a green trust, Miyawaki Trust. Miyawaki Trust. That Miyawaki Trust, you can contribute so that it helps to create a trust to educate people. First of all, we lack education. We would like to train people on our demo plots and tell them how they can go about. This requires funding. So, please look into our video in detail and take advantage of these information given and help us to help you all to develop more and more Miyawaki forests. That is the precious gift we can give it to the next generation. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thanks a lot.